Welcome to Community Insight. I am your host, Reverend Dr. Coles, always bringing information to the community insight. So please have your pen and paper ready for another broadcast on some information. Today, I'm going to let her introduce herself, and that's saying she's a mover, a shaker, getting things done. I'm going to let her introduce who she is and what she's doing, and talking today about Cornell church, where they have a new program dealing with as part of a nonprofit solution. And for those who know Bishop Rosie O'Neill, she's a mover, getting things done. She's a visionary with a plan and just really follow the spirit of God. And to have such great people around her, Lord, I just give God the glory. At this time, I'm going to introduce someone who's going to be doing a program at Cornell. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you so much, Dr. Coles. It is awesome to be here. Thank you for the invitation. I have certainly enjoyed meeting you. My name is Watsy Sutton. I am the Executive Director of Koinonia Community Solutions. Koinonia, we call it KCS, so if I shorten it, you'll know what I'm talking about. KCS, or Koinonia Community Solutions, is a nonprofit founded by Bishop O'Neill, who is our founder and chair, and the Koinonia Christian Center Church. So we are was founded as a separate nonprofit organization, actually a non-religious organization, in order to deepen the community outreach aims began by the Koinonia Church. As you know, Bishop O'Neill and Koinonia have, for the last 30 plus years, 33 or 4 to be exact, have just provided just an amazing level of community outreach and service. Back in 2012, 2013, Bishop O'Neill was invited to the White House to meet with other faith leaders to discuss how not faith-based and other organizations could really deepen their work in the community. And so Bishop O'Neill came back to Greenville excited, commissioned a group of members at the church to really kind of consider and explore what the needs were in the community, what particular programming could be offered along those lines. And so what began as an outreach ministry at the church, which I was blessed to be a part of from that time until now, has actually become a separate nonprofit organization with its own offices, with its own mission and vision, and is moving forward doing good things in the community.
Well, first I tell you, me to talk about Bishop Rosie O'Neill and the vision that God have given her, and is you can't put it in words. That's the first thing.
Absolutely,
Right.
it has been amazing.
Yeah, you can't. You don't bottle that. This is not where you can bottle something and make duplicate, because it's original on the work that God and her assignment. And to have people like you and others. I mean, she has not just you, but she has a lot of great folks.
Absolutely.
That I will use this. Some people may be available, but they're not capable. But people that is capable, they really not available, because those are the ones that are really getting things done in the community. So as we're talking about Cornell Center, you call it abbreviated, but I'm gonna
KCS.
call KCS.
Yes.
Is something different that Bishop's in the vision that she got to help the community, and it's really deep into like education. Could you explain just a little bit for those who listen to this broadcast? They say they know Bishop Rosie O'Neill and Cornell, the work that you do. Sometimes you go there and just give gas out to people. I mean,
Cornell does amazing work.
I mean, to God, let me stop there, because it's your show, not mine. So please tell us a little bit more on the education component.
Absolutely. Well, let me just take just a moment just to say, Koinonia Community Solutions is our relaunched, renewed mission and new program name. But prior to that, the program began in 2014 once, like I said, it grew out of an outreach ministry at the church, community outreach ministry at the church, and became KCC Community Development Center in 2014. So our offices were across the street from the church. I was a board member at that time, back in 2013, 2014, up until about a year ago. And we, at that point, really began to focus in on education and other initiatives that could really help the community. At that point, there were we saw just a real need to help parents understand understand what the curriculum changes were and how to best advise their children on course selection and what they needed to do to best help their children to position themselves after graduation. And so that need really began to form one of the key areas, key focus areas for the KCC Development Center. And of course, now we've renamed the board of directors, who Bishop O'Neill is our chair, renamed itself in just this past year to Koinonia Community Solutions. So around the education realm, we still we have done after-school programming, a program that I love called the Big Dream Event. And one of the reasons that I've just had such affection for that program is because it helps children to not just see themselves where they are, but where they're going.
Amen.
All of the gifts and talents that it has been deposited in them, and to really be able to take those gifts and talents and connect that with resources, connect that with tools, connect that with other individuals who they may not have known, may not have been aware of, that may be doing the very things that they see themselves one day doing, and really just have a day full, just a festival of learning and fun and interactivity, games and food, and in addition to it, just really public speaking sessions on interviewing, sessions on ACT, SAT prep, sessions on financial aid, and various information for parents who are wanting to guide their students, either middle school or high school students, in just the best way to move them forward once they graduate. In addition to that, so we've typically bought all those individuals. We've usually had the Big Dream Event at the church. We've typically bought about 150 to 200 students and parents, both middle school, high school, and parents, and had specialized tracks for each separate group so that they could get information just sort of on their level of understanding, very relevant and very useful information and resources. And then we usually culminate the day with a college fair and representatives from the military, community colleges, four-year universities. We've had schools from as far away as North Carolina A&T, Elizabeth City, Barton, Wesleyan, ECU, usually about 15 to 20 colleges and universities. They're on site to interact with our students. We've even had some giveaway scholarships right on site. So that is a program that I just really think embodies the mission of Koinonia Community Solutions, which is building bridges of opportunity and access to those who are to our underserved community here in Northeastern North Carolina. So the Big Dream Event, because of COVID, had to be canceled in 2020, 2021, but not wanting to disband the spirit of the Big Dream Event, we've offered sort of have kind of decompartmentalize those programs and offered them in virtual sessions. So we've had sessions this year on financial aid for parents, so they can really understand what they need to do to get their students ready, what kind of information, the FAFSA process can be intimidating to parents, and we wanted to take them by the hand, step by step. This is what you need to do. So we brought in guidance counselors who were able to offer that information. Additionally, we've had a session on all that our community colleges are offering, Pitt Community College, Beaufort Community Colleges, and had representatives from both schools, because right now there's just a plethora of funding and programs. Not everybody's going to go to a four-year school, but we certainly wanted to express to students and parents that there are a number of great programs where students can get certifications or transfer to a four-year school and spend a whole lot less money and really come out ready to go to work and ready to secure those great jobs. So we had that was one of our sessions, and our most popular session was on scholarship mining. We brought a colleague of mine that I went to school with at North Carolina A&T, and he came in and just gave an incredible session on how to mine for scholarships. You don't necessarily have to be the student who's at the top of the class to end up with a full ride. So, again, just always wanting to put that very useful, that very practical information and tools in the hands of our community, bridging the gap, if you will, and really connecting them with opportunities and access.
Wow.
And that's just a little bit of it.
Wow.
Oh, Dr. Coles, that's just a little bit of it. We've just, let me tell you about, before I kind of get rambling, but let me tell you about a couple of other programs that we're really excited about. Max Factor Leadership Institute is a program begun by Bishop O'Neill that is named after her grandfather, Dr. Max McElwain. He was a gentleman, was a pastor in Charlotte, had a third grade education, and as an adult went back to school, though he was leading the church, went back to school, got his high school diploma, and really just embodied that sense of being a responsible individual who could care for others, yet address his own educational deficiencies. And we use that rubric as a means of really guiding 6th through 8th grade males. We have a program that typically has about 39 to 40 students. This year, because of COVID, the numbers are scaled back a little bit to observe social distancing, et cetera. But we have males through 6th through 8th grade at CMEPS, who at CMEPS Middle School here in Greenville. They have sessions twice a month during their school day. They also have after school sessions, and then cultural exposure activities throughout the summer and during after school and breaks and what have you. And the focus is really on leadership development, assisting them with academic support, and really giving them the tools. Many of our young men, we call them our Max Factor leaders, are from backgrounds that don't provide as many resources, who may be low resourced, or from single family homes where mom is doing all that she can to provide for the home. But I can tell you, having raised a young man myself, it can be difficult even when you're doing all that you know to do, to really provide the tools that a young man needs to navigate some of those difficult teen years. And so we're wanting to provide those resources and that extra support, if you will, to really help our young leaders thrive in school, thrive in the community, and be the best young men that they can be. And so this program is coming up on 10 years in this next year, and we have just had phenomenal success with our Max Factor leaders. They are known as leaders in their school. They thrive academically. We have even garnered the support of the city of Greenville and received some community block grant funding to support this program. Our Max Factor leaders have just within during the Easter break, they have just traveled to the International Civil Rights Museum in Greensboro.
Wow.
They've toured North Carolina A&T. They've recently attended a Broadway play. We really seek to expose them culturally as well as academically. We want them to, know what's great about their community, but we also want to expose them beyond their community so that it really ignites their own passions and their inspiration, and really be an inspiration for them to thrive and to succeed. We have had at least 2 cohorts, and they typically graduate enter the program in 6th grade, graduate from the program in the 8th grade. We've had at least 2 cohorts of Max Factor leaders who have graduated from our program and have gone on to graduate from high school at about an 85 to 90% graduation rate. So we're excited and grateful for that. And what's very exciting is many of those, we've had young men who are now in college, who are on Dean's List, who have obtained full academic scholarships, who are playing, sports at the college level, and they and their parents really do, point back to those foundations that they received in the Max Factor program. Is really several of them entered in the program, reading several grades below grade level, or being very, very, very shy, and needing those social, emotional skills that Max Factor really helps to develop. So that is a program that has just made major impact in our area, and we are excited about strengthening that program, and are super excited that the city of Greenville, seeing the great work that's been done, has now funded, and this is a program that works in collaboration with the church, has funded the church to expand this program to to South Greenville Elementary and Elmhurst Elementary in grades 3 through 5. So
Wow,
instead of the program
good.
being 6 through 8, we'll now start the program a little earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wanting to catch those, those young boys at the earliest possible point, so that by the time that they, come all the way through the program in the 8th grade, they will really be grounded and ready to fly. So we are excited about
Wow.
what's going on.
I'm going to say to you, I know the work that's being done, but I didn't know about all this myself. And when I had the conversation with Michelle, I said, we need to get this out to the people.
Well, thank you for that invitation.
And I say that, and here's the question. It's open for someone else to, so people might think, well, because it's at Cornell, it's just for,
Oh no, not
and
not
they
at
don't
all.
know that you're open.
Absolutely. And that is why the organization was began, because this is a community centered organization. You do not have to be, and that is in fact why it was designed as a separate non-religious entity. It is not, those we work in particularly the Max Factor program works in collaboration with and is supported by Cornelia Church, and Cornelia Church does support the programming of KCS and is one of one of our funders. However, this program works, or rather, the organization works separately from the church, though we do partner together on a number of initiatives. Many of our programs, particularly that require more space, are held there at the church. But these programs are open to individuals beyond the church, in the community, and it was started for just that reason, to really meet the needs of particularly the underserved community in Pitt County, in Greenville, but now with our renewed focus beyond Pitt County. And so one of the great things that's getting ready to happen, we are feverishly working on, we have just within the last almost 2 weeks, have been informed of that we are a recipient of a North Carolina Department of Public Instruction grant that will allow us to provide high quality summer academic and enrichment programming in Martin County this summer. So
Awesome.
beginning June 20th, and it will run through August 5th. There'll be a 5-week camp. There'll be 2 2-week sessions and then a 1-week session that'll run from June 20th to August 5th. We'll have 2 sites. One site will be in Robertsonville. One site will be in Williamston. We are looking forward to forging partnerships there in Martin County so that we can really recruit students, recruit teachers from that area. We will soon be hiring for that purpose, so that we can really provide just a phenomenal both academic and enriching experience for Martin County youth.
You just mentioned, when you mentioned Robinsonville, have you met up with Mayor Brown?
Yes, Mayor
What
Tina
a
Brown.
What a
She has an amazing
what
heart for
a
her community.
heart. So,
Yes.
but I gotta get back on your program.
Well, it takes a lot of good people to, bring these types of programming together. One of the things that we, pride ourselves on doing is really partnering with existing, with community leaders, existing community programs, because we want to be able to maximize, those resources and opportunities, to meet the needs of the community.
Well, I'm going to say, first thing, there's so much. I jotted down a few things. One is about the education, the scholarship. I mean, those understanding, most people don't know about it. And, I always believe that knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
And you just hit that. You talked about the max and working on leadership. You don't know, everything what you're saying is so needed in the community. And I always believe, and I say this on air, don't try to do something that God gave somebody else to do. Join on with them on partnership.
Absolutely.
And that's why, if there's anybody to understand partnership, is Bishop O'Neill, myself, and others. Work with them.
Absolutely.
Send people there, because you're already on the road. Some people say, well, they try to do it themselves, but they wasn't called. The scripture said we could do all things through Christ. They give us strength, but you make half of you call for to do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can cook, but the God is sure to tell me to open up a restaurant like G&K.
Yes.
Amen, somebody. So don't get it twisted. Hello. You know what I'm saying? So, and people listen at this broadcast, and I know the question, they want to know, how do they get in contact with, what is the number they need to get in contact, how they connect with you and whoever with the program, because this program what you guys have is off the chain.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Coates, for those words. Absolutely. Our number, first of all, we are located at 610 Suite B, Old Tar Village Road in Winterville. Our phone number is 252 999-8120. There at our offices, you'll find myself as well as our program administrator, Michelle Marston Stevens. One of the things that our board of directors had been most focused on is really reinvigorating the program and for the first time bringing on staff, recognizing that the vision for the organization was much larger and much more intense than what our volunteer board, because for many years we KCC Development Center operated with just a volunteer board. So even with doing the Big Dream event and the Max Factor program, those many of while we were working in tandem with staff at the church, or a lot of the organization was happening from a volunteer board perspective. And in this past year, Bishop O'Neill and the board decided that it was time to bring on full-time staff and brought on myself as executive director. We hired Michelle Marston Stevens, who just comes with just a wealth of experience and energy, boundless energy, does just a phenomenal job helping me to organize and implement the programs there at KCS. So we are there. Our hours are Monday through Friday. We're open from 8:30 to 5 on Mondays through Thursdays, and then we're open from 8:30 to 1:30 on Friday.
Okay. Wow. Now, do you have a website address? Because some
Yes,
people, because you give
we
us
do
the
have a website address. Our website address is www.koinonia solutions, KOINONIA solutions.org.
Well, I'm going to tell you, we only been here for 26 minutes almost, but I tell you, you still didn't give everything. It's so much.
There is a lot.
It's a lot.
And I would be remiss, Dr. Coates, if I did not say, and I don't know where we are time-wise, but we have some exciting things. Oh, wow. We have some exciting things coming up that I want to make sure I mention. On May 4th, Thursday, May 4th at 5:30, we will have our ribbon cutting there at our offices, organized by the Winterville Chamber of Commerce. So we're inviting the community out to come and see us, hear about us, learn what we do in the community. But then coming up on June 9th, we're having our first fundraising golf tournament. It is called the Opportunity. The Opportunity Golf Classic. And what we are doing, we're partnering with a number of organizations looking to obtain corporate sponsorship. We have had some great opportunity this year to partner with a number of leaders in our business community here in Greenville to support our programming. And so we are wanting to, in addition to all the educational programming we're doing, we're also have also moved into the workforce development and economic impact area as a major focus area, and are laying the foundation to begin providing housing counseling and affordable housing programming. So as we are preparing to do those things, we won't have a lot of time to get into those things, but as we're preparing to do those things, as you know, it takes funds to do so. Even as we're working hard to diversify funding through grants, through corporate sponsorship, it still takes, those fundraising efforts. So on June 9th, we will be, and our website is already up. It can be linked through our website address, which I've just given. But registration, so if you play golf, if any of your audience plays golf or just wants to come out and volunteer, or just, be in the midst of just a fun day of activity, of community engagement, we will be there at the Greenville Country Club on June 9th. Registration is open, as well as we are, our site will likewise allow anyone who wants to sponsor a hole or sponsor any of the activities of the day. So we're looking forward to that.
Wow. I want to tell you thank you for being on the broadcast. As you have heard, I mean, we ran out of time. but we have not run out the blessings of God. Amen. On May the 4th, I believe is May the 4th, there's going to be a ribbon cutting. On June the 9th, let's support Cornelia, what they're doing to help with the KCS. Did I get it correct?
Yes, you
All
did.
right, I'm getting better. Please support this effort. I truly give God all the glory. I want to thank you for being on the broadcast. We need your help. Cornelia is doing so much. Please dial the number, call in, go to the location 252-999. Is it 8128? Did I get it correct?
8120.
8120. Dial the number. Dial the number. Connect. God bless, and I see you at the next broadcast.